Welcome back to Talking Too Much with Hannah O'Reilly. I'm Hannah O'Reilly, and this is episode 20. Yes, episode 20. I can't believe it. I feel like I say that after every episode I announce, but like 20? I feel like I should have like the gold balloons or, yeah, gold. I feel like gold would be the vibe here. To celebrate. Like, oh my gosh, I had to wear the Talking Too Much sweatshirt. You saw this in the episode with my sister. My Aunt Trish made this. Maybe more merch to come. Let me know in the comments if you would wear it. I figured for the 20th episode, we have to celebrate talking too much. So I'm in a super comfy outfit, which obviously like there's something about getting like super dressed up for this. And like, you feel almost a little more professional, but I also kind of want to be cozy today because like, whatever. We're just friends hanging out. So this episode is going to be a little different. I said in episode 1 that, maybe I'll do a full episode on like my job and like how I got here and like the lead up. And I feel like I don't know if I fully have given background on myself. I don't know. So I'm like, let me talk about myself. Let me talk too much about myself. You know what's so weird? I feel like even though it's like, oh my God, it should be so easy to talk about yourself. Like, who cares? It's like not that easy, like without having someone ask you the questions. So I'm kind of just gonna fly off the dome and hope for the best, okay? I have a lot of new listeners since episode 1. And if they have not gone back and listened to the beginning, I want to make sure people are caught up on who the heck I am. Like, who is this girl that's talking all this much? So my name is Hannah. Okay, it's in the title. Is it on no, it's not on the sweatshirt. It's in the title. I'm 30 years old and I live in Lehigh Valley, Pennsylvania. So I was born here. I was born in the Lehigh Valley. It's about an hour and a half outside Philadelphia, if you're familiar with Pennsylvania at all. And yeah, I grew up with 2 younger sisters and we're super close, which is great. Their names are Colleen and Mary Kate. Okay. Hi, ladies. Now, you know what? I'm going to say, Colleen and Mary Kate, if you're watching and you've made it to this part, we're about 4 minutes in, if that, text me that you saw this. Okay. This is going to be a real test, everyone. Do my sisters listen to every single episode? We'll see. We'll see who texts, and I'll let you know next week, okay? And no one tell them. Don't tell them, like, hey, you better text your sister because she just called you out on the podcast. I want to see. Let's see what happens. Anyway, Colleen and Mary Kate. Colleen lives in New York. Mary Kate lives in Boston. I love that they live in 2 different cities because I get to visit them and have 2 different experiences. So that's really fun. And then when they come home, like now I'm the tour guide. Okay, even though this is their hometown too, I'm the one like showing them all the hot spots because that's what I do for work. But we're not at the work part yet. So we grew up in the Lehigh Valley, and then I ended up going to St. Joseph's University in Philadelphia for college, and I studied English. So I went in as a business major. And I said some of this in episode 1 because now it's coming back to me. I went in as a business major and I just like could not do it. Like, I'm like, I literally am just doing this because it sounds cool and it sounds like that's what everyone else is saying and I'm going to go with the flow. But I was loving my English classes and I always loved English. Like in high school, yeah, I got the highest grade sophomore year in regular English. Okay, who's counting? So English has always been my thing, but specifically writing, like more of a creative writing track. And not so much literature. Like, that's not really my vibe. I'm more creative writing. So I got to take some really great writing courses at St. Joe's, and that I really had a lot of fun just being in those classes. So what's funny is I was denied from the school newspaper at St. Joe's. They were like, nah, we're good. I don't know why. And then I ended up being like one of the, from what I know, I'm the only one from my program that went actually into news. And I still write for newspapers to this day. So, joke's on you. Joke's on you. Anyway, I'm acting like, if the editor's watching, joke's on you. So, okay, went to St. Joe's, did 4 years there. I was not a big fan of college. Like, I feel like that's a hot take. People love college. I just was not. I don't know. I could not get my footing right. Like, it just was not, I don't know. I don't know if it was the school, the school and me and the way we were mixing, or I don't know. I just felt like I never fully got settled there. And I'm just being honest, okay? I feel like it's everyone like wants, and maybe everyone does love college but me, but I feel like it's just like, you're going to say, oh, best 4 years. No, it wasn't for me. I'll be honest. It was not. But the plus about college was I leaned heavily on my home friends. Like I talked to them a ton. I would visit them a lot. And I'm closer with them than ever. And I really think that my college experience is what helped that. And it was great to get to visit them, meet their friends. And like I made friends in college. I still have friends from college. Like there were obviously a lot of positives. I mean, my life would not be this way if it weren't for where I went to college. I didn't love it. And then my sisters went to Catholic University and they loved it. Like they really loved it. So I don't know. Wasn't really my thing, but that's okay. It's all right. Everything can't be a hit. Okay. So I went to St. Joe's, and after college, so this is the ironic part, okay? I call my parents one day, and I'm like, yo, that business major thing is just simply not working out. I'm going to be an English major. Let's be honest. Saying you're an English major, it doesn't have as much weight as saying you're a business major, because business, anything could be business, technically, right? And there's a lot more job security if you're a business major. English, it's a little tougher. It's niche. It's going to be a little bit of a struggle. And I was like, oh, I got to tell them that, hey, like, I'm going to just stick with this English thing. I just had convinced myself, like, there's no way I could enjoy my job. Like, honestly, I'm like, I feel like this is my hobby. Like, writing was my hobby. And then I took so this is like crazy. I'm all over the place. I'm sorry. So I'm at St. Joe's. It's my sophomore year. This is when I like made the decision. It's my sophomore year and I take a magazine writing class. I loved it. Like I was like, oh, I'm having too much fun here. Great professor. Oh, Tanaya Darlington, shout out. She travels the world and tries cheeses and writes about them. I know she does more than that, but in simplest terms, that's what she does. And she's the coolest lady. And she taught the coolest classes at St. Joe's. And she's very whimsical and like, I love her. So, and she really did change my life. So St. Joe's gave me her. So I really should take back what I said. Tanaya, you were the best. Oh, and the fact that she went by Tanaya. Like she was like, call me Tanaya. That's my first name. I'm like, all right, you're chill. So I take her magazine writing class. And during that, I had just gotten my wisdom teeth out. So I got my wisdom teeth out over Christmas break. And then that following semester, I took magazine writing. So I'm in that class and I have the most swollen face. This seems like it's going to be irrelevant. Stick with me, okay? I have the most swollen face. I got an infection. I got air pockets. I had locked jaw. They opened my jaw so wide it locked. Okay, it like locked shut, which is really bizarre. Didn't stop me from eating though. Still was able to slip some food in there. Piece of pizza slips right into a locked jaw situation, okay? I can promise you that. So I'm in that class and my mom, I didn't have a car on campus sophomore year. So my mom kept having to drive to Philly, drive me back to the Lehigh Valley and do these like emergency appointments for my jaw because it was like the worst experience ever. And whatever. So I'm taking this class and I'm being driven home like all the time. One day in class, she says to us, I want you guys to look for internships for the summer in this field if this is something you're into. And I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to do that, girl? How am I going to do that? So my mom's picking me up for another emergency appointment. My gums are bleeding. I'm a mess. We're in the waiting room of this wisdom teeth emergency doctor's appointment. And I pick up a magazine. It was called Lehigh Valley Style. Shout out. And I'm like, this is a beautiful magazine. I did not know what it was. Like, I went from high school to Philadelphia. Like, I'm like, my head's in the clouds. I don't know anything about any publications in my hometown. Beautiful magazine. And I see in there, it says, we're looking for a summer intern. And I'm like, what? Wait a second. I'm like, hey, mama's looking for an internship. I would love to join your team. And I got it. So I was able to bring stuff from my magazine writing class to the interview, show them what I got, because I had nothing else really. I'm like, sorry, I was studying business for the first full year, so I can show you me trying to crunch some numbers and getting Fs on my exams. Or I can show you a couple pieces I did in magazine writing. Okay? Pick your poison. So I show them my magazine pieces, and they were like, yep, perfect. I get the internship. So as crazy as it is, wisdom teeth surgery gone wrong is what got me into my career. You really never know what rooms you're supposed to be in, the situations that are going to come of that. Like even some of the worst situations can end up changing the trajectory of your life for the better. Like I am such living proof of this. Like I am literally living proof of like something going wrong is actually pivoting. Rejection is redirection. Like I live by that quote, okay? And I'm not even at the next part of how I also believe in this. So that already made me start believing like, okay, even when things go wrong, things are gonna go right. Like I just need to trust God. So anyway, I get that internship. I do it and I have the best summer. Like it was such a great internship. I got my first byline. Like as an English major, or a writer in general, getting a byline is like being handed a fat check. Like, I'm like, this is amazing. So it's so funny because I'm not an animal girly. Like, I'm not a fan of animals. I didn't grow up with animals, never had a pet, none of that. My first byline was me writing from the POV of a dog, of like dogs that were up for adoption. So I had to write as if I'm the dog asking for someone to adopt me. Does that make sense? So like, the group that was putting these dogs up for adoption, like reached out to the magazine and were like, hey, these are the types of dogs we have. And like, here's a little bit about their personalities. Like this one's energetic. This one's a little quieter. This is the type of family they probably would do well with, things like that. So I had to write it like, hi, my name is Spots and I love people, like things like that. Anyway, this gets published. I get my name in the byline. I'm thrilled. I go back to school the next year, junior year. My mom and dad randomly show up to school one day. They're like, hey, we're out front. Come down. I'm like, who died? Who died? My dad opens the trunk, takes this blanket off of this huge frame in the trunk of his car. They had gotten me this custom frame glass with every page from that article that I did with the dogs. So it's like me talking as a dog and my byline and a plaque at the bottom that says what magazine it was, my name. Literally, when I say best gift of my entire life, if someone asks me what was the best gift you ever received, that was the gift. Besides life, obviously. And this sweatshirt, Aunt Trish, don't you worry, girl. But seriously, oh my gosh. So they have that framed in their basement, if you ever want to take a look. It's so crazy because I wouldn't have that frame if my wisdom teeth surgery went well. Isn't that crazy? Thank God it went horrible. Thank God. So that's just a funny little side story I had to tell you. So best gift ever. I also wrote about like self-tanners, which, I mean, that's so ironic because my hand right now and my skin, I wrote about self-tanners and like these new tanning products, whatever. So that's one of the pages too. So it's dogs and a self-tanner page. It's just so like, so funny. So anyway, I go back to school. I take more writing classes and I do all this stuff. And I end up, when I graduate, I end up doing this little stint. Like, I'm like, I'm going to go to law school, I think. I feel like a lot of English majors go to law school. Again, I think I wasn't feeling secure in the fact that I was an English major. And I'm like, I just don't know how I'm going to make this work. But like, I also knew I was going to make it work. It was such a weird thing. Like, it's like, I knew I was going to make it work, but I'm like, I feel like the outsiders like are not, and nobody was saying anything to me. No one was doubting me. Like that wasn't even a thing. I just was like, I'm insecure about it. And I feel like I need to pivot. So I'm like, I'm going to take the LSATs. Yeah, that sounds like something I'm going to do on a rainy Saturday. So I take this online course like for months and I'm like studying up and I'm like learning torts and all that. And I'm like, I'm going to law school. I'm going to law school. Call me Elle Woods. And again, I just think I wanted to just sound cool. I'm like, yeah, law school. And like I was really into like shows like in the courtrooms, and I did an internship then at a courthouse. I shadowed a judge, and it was a great internship, and I did really enjoy it. And I still think like if I were to do that, like I would enjoy it. But I just was like, my heart was so not in it. I'm like, I don't know. It's just not for me. So I took the LSATs twice, and then I was just like, not for me. So all that time and money down the drain. Anyway, I also think I was trying to buy myself time because I was like, I don't know what I'm going to do for work. Like, so if I could say I'm studying to go to law school, like at least that buys me some time. Like, I don't know. It was tough back then. Okay. 2018, tough times. So I graduate from St. Joe's, English degree, and I can't find a job. A full year, I can't find a job. Now, luckily, my family has a family business. I was able to work for them at the time. So I was not like I was just sitting on my butt for a full year. Please, that was not going to fly in the O'Reilly household. So I was able to work in the office, which was great because I was able to work in the office. Like I freelanced for newspapers on the side. Like I still was making sure I was writing while doing that because I'm like, I'm not going to let this go. I don't want to lose my skills. So I was staying on it. I was covering township meetings like throughout the area, a lot of school board meetings, a lot of like land preservation meetings, which is like a big thing in this area because there's a ton of farmland. I was covering parades, like festivals, I anything that I could get my hands on, I like would write down, I'm like, here's how much money I want to make this week. And then I would try to get as many articles as I could to make that amount of money. And I mean, it was tough. It was really tough. I was begging for work and they weren't hiring full time. They were just like, no, we only are using freelancers. And, but it was kind of great because I got to meet so many people and I got to drive around and I covered so many different things and like it really helped with my style of writing because I got to do like creative one day. Then I'm at a board meeting that night, so it's a little more like buttoned up and tight. And then I'm doing like photography heavy articles where it's just like me taking a ton of photos of different like I don't know school events, like elementary school events and stuff. So yeah, it was crazy. Like I would finish dinner with my family and I'm like, all right, I gotta go. I gotta get to the board meeting and just like drive away in the middle of the winter. And I'm like, see ya. So that was such a crazy time. But like at the time, like it feels stressful, but I really did enjoy it. Like it was stressful because I didn't have like the full-time job that I really, really wanted. But it was such a like canon event. Like it was just such a building block moment for me. And it really did teach me what I wanted to do. So I did that internship at the magazine, like I mentioned. And I realized a lot of the work I was doing was over the phone, like interviews and stuff. And I wanted to do more like I'm out in public, like I'm talking to people. Like I thrive off of chatting with people, which is crazy because I'm a solo host of a podcast. But my full-time job obviously allows me to go out and I'm with people all the time. So I get my fix. And the newspaper really did that for me. So I realized like after that magazine internship, like while editorial magazine, it's like fun and glamorous and like there were photo shoots that I got to go to and like it was great. But from like a writing perspective and just like my personality, I was like, I need a little more out and about. So, but it was good because that's the point of an internship, right? Like you learn like that's not what I want to do. Or I like this part of the job, but maybe I could add something with a little bit of this. Anyway, a year of not having the full-time job that I wanted after college, I landed a job at a local online, and they have a newspaper. Well, they don't have a newspaper anymore, but at the time they had a newspaper, a local online news station, I guess you could say, like a digital news. And I was hired as the entertainment writer for them. So I would write about, like, this new place is opening, let's go check it out. Or, this local kid just directed a movie. Like, just very, like, fun stuff. Or, this festival's coming to town this weekend. Here's everything you need to know. And I was having a good time. I, though, was only there. I was only employed there. This is where the next part of the rejections redirection. I only worked there for 21 days. I think 21 days. We did not even hit 30 days. And I did mention this in episode 1 that I got fired from my first full-time job. Now, it wasn't my fault. Okay? It was not like something I did. Okay, so what happened was they wanted me to go out and write about restaurants. Okay, no problem. I'll write about restaurants all day long. But one of the assignments I was given, I was asked to write candidly about restaurants. Like, they wanted me to write about like how the service was. Was the place clean? Like, was the food good or was it not good? Was the place dirty? Was it like, they wanted me to write very almost like I'm a critic. That's what this assignment was. And so I went to them and I was like, hey guys, listen, like my family business is in the restaurant industry, and my family's business, not my family business, please, works there once and thinks she owns the place. So I'm like, my family's business is restaurant related, and I cannot be going out and about writing about restaurants like, yeah, food was horrible, place was disgusting. Like, me, why would I, what credibility do I have on the streets writing about restaurants like that, you know? It's like, this girl, she just got this job and she's writing about how bad our food is. Like, I don't know. I just didn't feel like that was even fair to these restaurants. And like, I didn't want to ruin mom and pop restaurants like that. Like, I'm like, it's just, I don't know. It wasn't aligning with my morals. It just wasn't. I'm like, I don't think it's worth it to like bring down these restaurants. Sorry. Anyway, I didn't say all that. I was like, listen, like it's going to be a bit of a conflict for me. I'll write anything else. Like any other assignment you give me, I'll do it. I just can't have my name attached to this, like, at all. So I could tell the day I told them that I was getting fired. Their reaction was so not what I expected. And I was just like, no, that did not land the way I wanted. Or that was not being received the way I wanted. Like, what I said landed correctly. I should take that back. What I said, I meant. I was not doing it. But their I was just like, oh, shoot, this is like serious. And I just got here, okay? And I waited a year for this job. I'm like, oh, whoa, what's happening? Why is everyone freaking out? So I just could tell the vibes were off. And I left the office that day and I was so upset. Like, I just was like, a year. And mind you, I was not fired yet. I just like had a gut feeling. And I was just like, oh my God, like, I can't believe it. Like, I really don't think I'm going to have a job again. Like, I just did all that. What? And I just, you think it's the end of the world. How old was I? It was 2018. I'm 30 now. I was like 23, 24. It was the end of the world to me, okay, back then. But I'm like, yeah, but I just won't feel right being like, never mind. I'll just do it. I'm like, it just does not sit right with me. And like, there's other people who could write about these things. Not that I wanted them to, but I'm like, you guys, like, there's food writers, there's restaurant critiquers. Like, I'm not trained to do that. So anyway, I think I got like 1 extra week out of the job. I did not know what was happening. Like, I would go into work and I was still working, and it was like an unspoken thing. And I'm like, is today the last day? Then the next day I'd go in, I'm like, maybe today's the last day. Anyway, I woke up on like a Wednesday or something, and I got an email and it was like, hey, like, when you get in today, could you come see us? I'm like, oh, today's the day. But luckily I had already kind of gotten my like sadness out of the way. Like, I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm going to be all right. It's fine. So I picked out my best outfit to get fired in. I remember I sent my friends a photo and I'm like, today's the day. Fired. Here's what mama's wearing. I think I wore a cheetah print shirt. Bold to get fired in a cheetah print shirt. Okay. I'm like, I'm not walking out of here and they're not getting a little runway action. So I go in and I already knew. And honestly, it was kind of peaceful. Like, I went in and I was just like, okay, I got this. And it was such a big maturity moment for me. They let me know, like, hey, we're going to have to let you go. It's just not going to work. And I was like, okay, a little dramatic. Like, it was one article. I think we could probably make it work. And I have no bad blood with this place. Like, I'll be honest. Like, it's fine. I've seen them since. I see them out and about at things. Everyone's very respectful to me. But at the time, I'm like, oh, my world is crumbling down. And and I said, no problem. Like, thanks for the opportunity. It was a great 21 days. That's that. The worst part is having to pack up your desk in front of everyone. And you came in and clocked in, and then you're like walking out at like 10 a.m. or like 11 a.m. I'm like, we haven't even hit lunch. At least maybe I can make it to lunch, and then I could leave for my lunch break and never return. No, it was like so awkward. I didn't know anyone well enough to be like, hey, like I just got fired, like, and like joke around with them. It was just very like, hi guys, I'm Hanna. Nice to meet you, and nice meeting you. Okay. It was weird. Like, I remember like DMing people on LinkedIn after the fact, and I was like, hey, here's the sitch, okay? You won't see me tomorrow or ever again. I was let go. I like had to explain to them, and I'm like, this is just such a bizarre situation. So anyway, I end up getting fired. I leave. I go back to working for my dad, which obviously like such a blessing to have that to fall back on. So I can't even act like, oh my God, I was on the streets. Like, I'm going to acknowledge that right now. Very lucky. And then I got all my freelance writing gigs back. Like, everyone was very understanding. Like, no problem. Can you make it to the board meeting tonight? I'm like, I'm back at it, baby. And like having to explain to people at the board meeting, like, remember I did that whole dramatic goodbye? Like, oh, I got a full-time job. Bye, guys. I'm back. Anyway, so that happened. And then a month, I was probably doing the freelancing and back working for my dad for about a month. And I was talking to my friend, and I was like, oh my God, I need to find a job that's in this career, like this field. Like, I don't know what to do, and blah, blah, blah. And she's like, listen, like, I know a girl who works up in the Scranton area, Scranton Wilkes-Barre market. She writes for a news station up there. Why don't you just like reach out to her, pick her brain. Also, this is my friend Nicole, and I know she's watching, so I got to give Nicole a shout out. Nicole told me, reach out to my friend. She works up here, and like maybe she knows someone who knows someone. I'm like, all right, I have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. So I reach out to the girl. Her name's Sydney. Okay. I'll have to let her know I mentioned her in here. We have each other on social, so I'll let her know. Like, hey, girl, you changed my life. I have told her. I have let her know. So I reach out to her. And I'm like, hi, like, I know Nicole, and I just was fired. And I'm like, this girl's probably like, what? Anyway, she answered me. She's like, hey, yes, I work at this station called Fox 56 up in Wilkes-Barre. We don't have any openings right now. Like, I'll let you know if something opens up. And everyone says that, and I'm like, I'm never hearing anything. And she's like, I'll keep an eye out if someone's looking for someone. I'm like, all right. And then all of a sudden, a week later, she messages me and she's like, hey, I actually am leaving. I couldn't say it at the time. Why don't you apply for my job? It was a digital news writing job up there. So like website news, like they had a TV show, like a newscast at 10 o'clock. And then they needed someone to write web scripts for them. She's like, why don't you apply and put me down as a reference? Never met this girl. Okay. I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, she did not need to follow up with me. She didn't owe me anything. Like, I'm like, what? Like, thank God she told me that, right? So I apply, and they bring me in for an interview, and they're like, anyway, you could come back like the next day or 2 days later and do another interview with our GM. I come back, I get the job. I could not believe it. Okay. So I had never met Sydney. Like, it was like we passed each other. Like, she left and then I slipped in and got her job. Obviously thanked her profusely, but I'm like, wow, that's so crazy. Like, this stranger technically, like, just changed my life. Like, it was so crazy. And like, all because I got that horrible wisdom teeth surgery and didn't know what kind of job I wanted. And then I got an internship, and then I got another job, and then I was fired. And then I'm like, that's how I got here? Like, what? So anyway, I was living in the Lehigh Valley. I was commuting to Wilkes-Barre, Scranton area every single day, and like taking the turnpike every single day. After a while, like I remember I'd be coming home some nights, and I'm like, I feel like I just did this. Or I'd be like, I'm going to bed, and I'm going to wake up and do this all over again. So anyway, I'm commuting, and it's starting to get colder out, and I'm like, oh shoot, like then it's going to snow. It's going to be a whole thing. I'm not going to be able to make it up there. And I'm like, I got to get a place up there. Like, I need to get an apartment, and I got to get one quick because the snow was a coming. I start looking for apartments up there, and I'm talking to my coworkers at this news station, and I'm like, hey guys, can everyone tell me where they live? I'm a stalker. Please tell me where you live. I'm like, I just want to know, like, what are the safe spots? Like, I didn't know much about that area. So I'm like, I need to have a baseline of like, all right, here's at least like 5 or 6 places to start looking at. I would ask some of like the adults. I'm like, can you guys write down the safest towns in this area? Actually, I should have known like any town I probably hadn't written about was one of the safest towns. I'm like, if I haven't heard about it, it's safe. So one of the coworkers was Dylan. And Dylan was like, why don't you move into my building? It's the best building in the area. I'm like, no, thank you. I'm like, no. I'm literally not going to move into your building because you're getting on my nerves. I'm not going to be able to clock out of work and then see you in the halls. Like, it's just simply not happening. And he's like, all right. And he's like, good luck. Good luck finding something better. I'm like, okay. So then I'm showing my parents like all the apartments that people send me. And my parents are like, oh, that one's really nice. And I'm like, that's Dylan's. Like, I'm not living in that apartment building. They're like, I mean, let's just at least check it out. Dylan ends up giving us like a tour. I'm like, oh God, like here we go. And it was well, actually, you know, I'll be honest. Like a lot of my coworkers had nice places. Like I really shouldn't even say that, but it was like that one felt like home to me. I'm like, this feels like the one and I was trying to fight it. I was trying to fight it, guys. Like I really was. And now look at me. So then we end up being coworkers and we live down the hall from each other. And I'm like, oh, God, here we go. And I remember he'd be knocking on my door. He's like, hey, want to hang out? Hey, I got to go grocery shopping. Want to come? Hey. I heard you on the phone. Who are you talking to? I'm like, oh, God, who is this guy? I'm like, this is exactly what I didn't want. So then months and months go by. COVID hits. I'm like, oh, no. I'm trapped here. I'm trapped. And COVID hitting, honestly, was a weird blessing in disguise. Horrible time, but blessing in disguise because that's when I started dating Dylan. And March of 2020, I'll never forget it. And the rest was history. And now that B is a co-host once in a while, and he thinks he runs the place. And he used to be my annoying coworker who I wanted nothing to do with. So anyway, I wanted to tell that story, one, to obviously, like, if anybody is thinking about going in this career path, it's not linear at all. Like, if anything, it's like, it's not, I can't even do a nice roller coaster. It's like, okay, that's a great impression. What was that? It is the most crazy ride. Even with all the heartbreak of the job loss or, like, the wisdom teeth and all this stuff. And then, like, COVID, and I need to find an apartment, and I don't know where I'm going to live, and then I'm dating Dylan. I'm like, this is the craziest thing. And my career and relationship path kind of ended up becoming one. Like, it was a weird situation. And it truly, all of this changed my life. It changed my life. Like, and it all started with, like, calling my parents and being like, I owe it to almost failing accounting. Like, that's what I owe it to. If that was a breeze for me, I probably would have just stayed in business school. Thank God that it was so horrible that I was like, I got to get out of here. Like, I cannot do this anymore. And, you know, on some days where I, like, get up and I go to work and I, like, have, like, it's such a breeze now and it's, like, great and fun and everything, I, like, think about my journey a lot. And I'm like, that was such a wild ride. And at the time, you want to just be able to be like, I got the job, I got the apartment, I got the boyfriend, I got the, like, all quick. And it's like, what's the fun in that? Like, it's so crazy at the time, but you really got to zoom out and be like, this is such a part of my story. Like, everything chaotic got me to where I'm at. And it's such a fun, it's a fun story to tell because I think it's also realistic. Like, I like that this has happened to me because then when someone comes to me and is looking for a job or maybe lost a job or something like that, I'm like, oh, been there. And I can tell them, like, it's not just glamorous, snap your fingers, and I'm on TV. It wasn't like that at all. And, you know, so I just like that it wasn't so cut and dry, because I feel like sometimes people need to hear that. And I think also I'm really glad that a lot of this stuff happened to me, because it really has helped me in every other aspect of my life. So, I mean, I stopped the story at Fox 56. I ended up then staying up there for 2.5 years. Great experience. Football sideline reporter. I ended up doing some commercials for them, voiceovers for like colleges. And if you ever heard my voice on a Misericordia commercial, yeah, that was me. It starts at the Arch. Went to St. Joe's, does commercials for Misericordia. No problem. So that was a whole good experience. I got to learn like voice work up there. Like it was such a core memory to me. It still is. It's such a core memory. And the people I met, and just like living up there and running around, and my friends, and it was great. I actually was with one of the friends this Saturday. Dylan, Allie is who we worked with. She was the weather girl up there. And her husband. We were all together on Saturday, and it's just so nice. Like, I'm like, I would not know these people without half this. Like, it's just so crazy. So anyway, then my time up there came to an end, and I got a job at my local news station for 2 years. And I ended up going for a position there that I really wanted to do, like, it was called trending. So I would talk about like pop culture, and like, here's what's trending on the internet. Like, let's sit on the couch and chat about it. And like, I filled in a bunch for that show, and it was very like lifestyle-y, and I really loved it because I got to show my personality. And like, you know, if you're sitting on a couch in a news station, like, you get to show a little more personality, you get to joke around, and that's what I really wanted. And I went for it, and it was like months of like interviewing and trial, and like, who are we gonna pick? And ultimately they did not pick me. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I wanted this so bad, and if I did get it, I would have had to sign another 2-year contract is what came with that position. And I'm like, I would have signed another 2-year contract if I got that. Anyway, didn't get it, so I didn't sign another 2-year contract. I ended up looking for a new job, and that's what landed me at my job now, Discover Lehigh Valley, and I get to do exactly what I want to do. Like, I bop around, like, I get to meet people, I get to show personality on camera. Like, it's just so weird. Like, it's like almost like all my jobs in one. Like, every job I've had, I've gotten to kind of create into one, and then this podcast on top of it. Like, that job has given me the flexibility to do this, and I get to show my personality and tell my story, and it's just so wild how the cookie crumbles. Like, it really is. And I just am here to say, getting fired changed my life. Truly. A horrible wisdom teeth surgery and getting fired changed my life. I just think it's just an important reminder that like the bumps in the road are actually such blessings. Like, they really are. They teach you something. They redirect you to something new. And I just really wanted to put that out there, because at the end of the day, and I always say this, like, none of this like really matters. And it's like, we're just here to like learn about ourselves and meet other people and use our skills and our talents that God gave us. And it's like, however I need to get there, that's how I'm going to get there. Like God's going to make sure of it. And I really, really want people to remember that and use this story as their reminder. Because of course people would say, like, it's so cool you're on TV. Oh my gosh, how did you get a job in TV? And I'm like, I don't even have the time to sit down and explain to you how I got the job in TV, because it is so not cut and dry. And now I see kids like, this girl I know, she's running this news station at her college. I'm like, I didn't even know this stuff existed back then. It was just such a totally different path for me, and that's okay. But it just goes to show, if you have heart and you have faith, you'll get the job. You'll get the career. You'll end up where you're supposed to be. You'll meet the person you're supposed to meet. Everything happens for a reason. And I'm going to leave you on that note. All right, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Let's talk too much again next week. Bye.